Good evening. You're watching To The Point here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal, and our focus this evening is on the high-voltage Rajasthan battle. Even as we've seen the polling in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh wrapping up, the focus now shifts to Rajasthan and Telangana. And in Rajasthan, the big focus is on a controversy that's been triggered by a comment made by the Prime Minister. While addressing a rally in Barmer of Rajasthan, you had the Prime Minister making those comments, lashing out at the corrupt, accusing the Ashok Gyalot government of being corrupt. He has said that anyone who's corrupt, teach them a lesson. Press the lotus button and hang the Congress government. Press the lotus button and hang the corrupt. It's over this now that we're seeing an all-out political battle, because the Congress has said that what the Prime Minister said is equal to hate speech. Let me bring in on this broadcast our guests. I'll start with political analyst Amitabh Tiwari, who's joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Amitabh Tiwari, thank you for joining us here on India Today. You know, in a heated political pitch, we've seen far too many examples of these kind of extremities, on jibes, on attacks, on taunts. And here you have the Prime Minister's comment coming under scrutiny from the Congress, who is saying that this is hate speech. The EC should act. What do you think, Mr. Tiwari? Do you think that this warrants a comment like, saying that this is hate speech?
See, in the last leg of campaign, these type of comments are made by leaders from both the political parties. And these sometimes are also taken as rhetorical statements by the voters as well. Because ye jo public hai, ye sab janti hai, sort of. So why has the Prime Minister chosen corruption and the law and order issue? So the law and order is one of the top 5 issues in Rajasthan across surveys. So as an opposition party, when strategically you are trying to show that the incumbent government has not performed up to a certain level, then obviously the opposition will raise the issue of law and order. We have the Kanhaiya Lal murder issue. We have a Dalit boy being beaten. So this is an issue there which the BJP is trying to exploit. Second is the corruption. So I think in one of the surveys, Rajasthan was amongst the top 2 or the second in corruption based on the records of the NCRB data on the number of complaints which was filed. So again, corruption is an issue, and the Prime Minister is trying to exploit that and show that his government,
Sure,
there is no corruption case.
but the kind of wording, and the BJP has, you're right, focused largely on corruption, on women's safety in Rajasthan. The wording that's been used, Amitabh Tiwari, when the Prime Minister says, press the lotus button like you're hanging the Congress government, press the lotus button like you're hanging the corrupt and teach them a lesson. Do you see this resonating? Because very often the Prime Ministers come up with these kind of, clarion calls, you could call them, in these rallies, which then resonates with the people. Do you see this turning into that?
See, I mean, we are taking the words, I think, very literally in the meaning. It is an indication, or he is trying to indicate that when you press the Kamal button, this will end, or this will lead to an end of the regime of the Congress party, which according to him is fairly corrupt. And the law and order situation under Gyalot government has deteriorated because Gyalot largely, as per BJP, has been focusing on saving his chair in the first 4 years. And the slew of schemes which he has launched is largely in the last year of his campaign. See, Hindutva, communal tensions, polarization, these are also issues in Rajasthan. Rajasthan being a border state, nationalism is a very big issue. Many people, many soldiers from families are in Indian Army and other battalions. So this nationalism also works a lot with the voters of Rajasthan. And that is why probably the reference has been made to terrorism and how the act of terrorism have reduced under the BJP regime.
So the